It's time.
Do you have time?
Do you know what time it is?
The time is
The
now.
time is now.
The time is now.
Do you know what time it is? The time is now.
The time
Do you
is
know
now.
what time it is? The time is now. Do you know what time it is? The time is right now. Do you have time?
Get caught in a net with ANet. For your mind, body, and soul. Get caught in a net with ANet. It's your intellectual radio show. Here to inspire you and encourage you to be your very best. Get caught in a net with ANet.
Coming up next on Mind, Body, and Soul with Annette.
You are now tuned in to Mind, Body, and Soul with Annette, where your hosts, Annette Harris, analyze intriguing life questions and concerns, such as, do Christians suffer from mental illness? Have you wondered why they act abnormal? Or you may ask, what is really going on in their minds? Do you need Annette? Well, keep listening for a biblical understanding of the psychology of the mind.
Hey guys, welcome. Great afternoon. Welcome to another wonderful segment of Mind, Body, and Soul with Annette. I am your host, Annette Harris. I am also your certified mental health ambassador, CEO of Get Caught in the Net Incorporated, and award-winning author, two-time award-winning author of that bestseller, Surviving a Silenced Heartbeat, and new author of Here We Grieve Again, Companion Journal. Listen, guys, I want to encourage you to come in on this afternoon. It is time for you to come on in and get caught in the net on Mind, Body, and Soul with Annette. If you look at your calendar, you will notice, of course, that today is the last Wednesday of the month, which is when we feature health and wellness. So I want you to get prepared, get your pens, paper, your phones, whatever you write on, get your questions ready for our guest on today. We are live on Facebook at Net, Get Caught in the Net, also on YouTube and Instagram at Get Caught in the Net. Before I get started, Lord, we thank you for all things. We thank you for who you are and how you are and your blessings and your help and how you're leading and guiding us in this season. It is a season that we are leaning on and depending on you. And we ask that you would grant us what we need to get your word out, to encourage others to come into the kingdom. In the name of Jesus, we pray. And the opening scriptures, the first part of Hosea 4:6, my people are destroyed for lack of knowledge. Because thou hast rejected knowledge, I will also reject thee. And again, we're excited, grateful to be here on this afternoon. I'm going to bring Dr. Hill in. I gave her a reprieve on today. Normally, I ask her to open us up with prayer, but I but I asked her to. But I went ahead and did it myself. Typically, I will ask her, but she's always willing and ready. How are you doing on this afternoon, Dr. Hill? She can't hear me. I can hear you. I can hear you. So let me make sure everybody else. Dr. Hill. Yeah, everybody else should be able to hear me. I'm testing on my own mic. I'm not sure what's happening to her. I'm going to ask her to go out and come back in. Maybe we can, maybe her phone can readjust itself. that we'll get this. We'll get this. So I'm when she exits and comes back in, hopefully she'll be able to hear me. Dr. Hill, go out and come back in. Okay. All right. So she's going to try to go out and come back in. Listen, today is the first health and wellness of 2026. And so Dr. Hill did give me a topic title on today. And it obviously is going to be something really exciting because of the technical difficulties that we're having right now, or that she's having rather. So the topic for today, the untold secrets behind mental health. Ooh, and I feel like a kid in a candy store because mental health, I'm all things mental health. And I'm always on a regular basis, a daily basis, talking to you about your mental health. And I do it in a way where I talk about, things that we deal with on a regular basis that will affect us mentally, right? Sometimes we think we're dealing with things on our own or nobody else is dealing with it. Sometimes we're suffering silently. But so when you talk about mental health, you got me right there. You had me at hello. So Dr. Hill, can you hear me?
I can hear you wonderfully, yes.
All right. I just said a few minutes ago to those that are watching that this is obviously going to be a great session because of the technical difficulties that we had experienced. So I am asking each of you, when you come into this live stream, please do as our good friend Janice Pritchard has done already. She always comes in and she likes and shares. I appreciate her. She's very supportive. So she liked and shared already. So I'm asking you to do the same. Like and share, love and share, care and share, throw up the thumbs up. You can tag individuals directly into this live stream so that they will be able to watch it, whether they're watching it live or they have to come back and watch the recorded segment. So if they're unable to look at it right now while we're on here, they can always go back and listen. So make sure you tag them directly into it. They'll get the alert. I see you guys on Instagram and I appreciate you. I think that's my girl, Swing Easy. Thanks for joining. We appreciate you. Got to get an update on you. Haven't talked to you in a while. So today's topic again, we are talking about the untold secret behind mental health. Now, when you couldn't hear me earlier, I was trying to ask how you were doing. So you want to start with that and then tell us about the background behind this topic?
I, pardon me, I thought I was doing well until I tried to speak. I am doing very well. Um, the Lord is good. So I always like to say the Lord, He is good. So how are you doing?
Oh, I'm doing well. I'm coming along here, dealing with a little cold, but I'm okay. I'm doing all right.
Ooh, I hope I'm not catching your cold through the screen. Oh.
Oh my. Um, Ahmad is from. Oh, okay, Ahmad. Thanks from Italy. Thanks for coming in. I think I saw that you're over on the YouTube. So thanks for watching. And Alster and Carol, we appreciate you for coming in. Thank all of you over on YouTube and those that are on the other platforms. We appreciate you. All right. So Dr. Hill,
Yes, ma'am. Yes,
tell
ma'am.
me how you're doing. So, what's the background of this topic title on today? The untold secret behind mental health.
Yes. I was at a few weeks ago, I was at an event, and the event was about mental health.
Mm,
And they were, and the conversation was, it was a hot topic. The place was just packed, and they talked about everything but what we're going to mention and talk about today. And
okay.
there's a demographic of people that they totally overlooked. And then when I brought it to their attention and asked them about young people, and their mental health, uh, the the answer that I got from these professionals were, well, I don't deal with young people. Well, I don't, and that was well, they need to see, they would need to see such and such and such. They deal with, young people. And actually, what they were saying is that pretty much that young people, you give them some medication, to calm them down or to, put them in a stupor or whatever the case may be. And that's how we deal with them.
Mm-hmm.
And they went on talking about the adults and what you do and so forth and so on. And so that I didn't feel good about that, because if I am 15 and I am having mental problems, I'm beginning to have anomalies and hear things or see things or just be depressed, just be depressed and lonely.
Yeah.
And you don't try to do anything about it until I'm 30 years old.
Mm.
Then I have a problem. I am caught in a loop that I may not ever be able to get out of. And then there again, the answer will be medication.
Okay. Mm. Okay. Looks like her screen kind of went out a little bit. Um, Hopefully she'll get that together. I um I actually, as she was talking, I was thinking about how it really is a shame where when individuals don't really address all different age groups or generations when it comes to mental health, because we can't just dismiss what an individual is possibly feeling, you know, because of their age. I don't know what the mentality was. She mentioned about how they said they don't address young people when it comes to mental or the absence of mental health is what I like to call it. So I think that we have to be careful, in addressing the various generations because they are experiencing mental issues. Um, and it looks like she mentioned, about different things, but also one of the main things is suicidal ideation. A lot of the young people are experiencing. So we can't just say, okay, we'll just medicate them and they'll be okay. How about we provide space for them, um, to be able to get the help that they need, whatever that looks like, whether it is referring them to therapy or just allowing them to be able to express themselves. A lot of times, if you have someone to just sit down and just sort through their thoughts, a lot of times that can be a help for them. Sometimes people just need to just kind of release, whatever it is that they're dealing with mentally. Um, so give me your thoughts, as we're waiting for Dr. Hill. I'm not sure what's actually happening um, on her device. But give me your thoughts when you talk about the untold secret of or behind mental health. What are your thoughts about it? I see Dr. Hill is back. I'm not sure if she can hear me or not. Okay. Okay, so there she is.
Okay.
Okay, so I was just asking individuals to kind of give their thoughts on, helping young people, because you started out talking about them,
Yes.
as far as the mental health aspect is concerned, what their thoughts are, because many of you have young people in your house. You have teenagers, you have young adults, you have adolescents, or whatever the age range, and sometimes they need an outlet. They need to be able to vent. They need to be able to tell you what's on their mind. And then and think about it, because we as adults, we see so much that's happening all around us now. Sometimes the adults can't hardly handle it, and it takes
Yeah.
a toll on them mentally. So you have to make sure that you have an outlet for the young people as well, because they have so many questions and they're not really understanding a lot of things. So, Dr. Hill, I just kind of just kind of tagged along to what you were mentioning about the conference that you were at. And I just kind of piggybacked off of that. So if you want to continue on.
Yes, ma'am. Now I'm going to ask you a question first. Um, you, you, you all, I'm going to let you in on a personal conversation that we would be having. Um, I don't know what to do with this iPhone. So you all are going to have to forgive me if I pop out again. I'm
Okay.
just not, just not technically savvy. So I guess I'm getting old.
And we'll deal with it as it comes.
All right. So then, yes, they decided that these young people, that they really didn't, what they were saying is they didn't have the expertise to deal with these young people. But what really, they just did not put young people in that category, mental,
Mm,
mental problems.
okay.
And because they didn't, they really missed, they really missed oh my God, I want to
Opportunity.
say a generation, but I think more than that.
Mm,
Because by the time you get to the age that they were trying to deal with, these people were, not only did they have these problems, but they were old and set in their ways. And
wow.
so it had become a part of their personalities, because this is just the way I am. This is
Mm.
just the way I am.
Can I ask a question though?
Yes.
So this conference or meeting, or I'm not sure how you describe it, that
Mhm.
you were at, were they addressing mental health?
That's what the conference was for.
Okay.
Yeah.
And so you asked the question or placed it on their minds to, well, what about the young people, in so many words?
Yes.
Okay.
Exactly.
And so their response was basically
That's not my
medication.
that's not what I do. Young people is not what I do. I am, that's not my area. And that was pretty much with everyone. I think we had a panel of 6 people, and pretty much that was all of their.
Response.
Yeah, no one had. I don't even think it had crossed their mind.
That bothers me
Yeah.
to no end.
Mhm.
That, I don't understand how, as a professional in that area, because
Yeah.
obviously, I don't know if there were some psychologists or some therapists. I don't know. I don't know
All of the above. All
wow.
of the above.
That bothers me because, and then I'm wondering, okay, so what are you focused on? Because mental health, or the absence of it, or mental health challenges affects everybody, or
Absolutely.
can affect everybody.
Even children.
Right. And it doesn't matter the generation or what have you. Some generations more than others, maybe. I don't know. But you can't leave them out when you're talking about something as crucial as mental health.
You know what I have found? And it's always in a room of doctors and therapists and
Mm,
so forth and so on. I have always found that the focus is on, what do we do to get the funding?
wow.
Yeah, the focus has always been that I have found. Now, I'm not saying that that's the focus of everyone, but I am saying that in the rooms that I have been, the focus has always been on what do we do to get the funding?
Right.
And so, because I remember saying one time, in in a room of doctors.
Mm-hmm.
I said, well, you all asked about everything that you asked about. I said, but no one has said anything about getting people well. I said, or about prevention, about nutrition, which is what the prevention would be. And guess what my answer that I received was?
What's that?
That's why we got you here. Yeah,
Well,
that was my response. I'm sitting in a room full of medical doctors and researchers and this, that, and the other. And they looked at me like, what did you think you were here for? That's not what we do. That was all of that was the attitude. That's not what we do. We're here. Our purpose for being here is to get this funding. We got you here to deal with the prevention and the nutrition and so I was really disappointed.
I was just about to say that's so disappointing.
It was very disappointing. But I have, over the years, I keep asking the same questions and I still keep getting the same answers. That's not what we do.
Mm.
And yeah, it's just really, and I missed it. Did I miss it? I did miss it one time. If we have time, I'll say something about that. But
Okay.
I always talk about the schools that had me come every year to talk to their young people. And they would have the freshmen, the sophomore, the juniors, and the seniors. They were required to be there. And I had no idea why I was there, because it would always be in February doing Black History, Black History Month. And I would be like, I talk about nutrition. What am I doing here? And so, but it worked out well, because I would ask the young people about what they had for breakfast, what they had for lunch. Then I started just focusing on what they call the bad kids. So I would have them, if you are considered in your class and at the school, if you are one of those kids that's always in trouble, that is always fighting, that is you always have a problem with the teacher, raise your hand for me. So I would usually get about 20 kids in that group, in that crowd of the classes. I would get about 20 kids.
Mm-hmm.
And so this particular school, I'm so sorry. Today, isn't it? And so I would ask the young people what their problem was. Did they always fight? Why did they always fight? Were they angry? Were, those type of things? And they were very honest, they were very honest about why they were the problem at the school or in their class. And so I would tell them to come up front. I would tell them to come up front, and they were very compliant. But then I would ask them, well, what is it that you have for breakfast? And usually they would say that they had some Cheetos, Doritos, Takis. And then one young man told me, he said, I have 3 bags before I come in school, because there was one of those little, used to call them mom and pop stores. I don't know what they call them. But he said, because I go over there before I come in school and I get 3 bags. And so then that opened the door for me to say, did you know that that red chemical that's on that is monosodium glutamate? It is MSG. They didn't even know what that was. And so, of course, they didn't know what it was. And so I would say that is a chemical that changes your brain, that changes your brain cells. It changes how you think. It makes you violent. And so I said, could that be a reason why you're you're always fighting? You eat 3 bags before you come in school. Could that be a reason that the teachers, the principals, even the other students have a problem, and why you have a violence problem? And
Wow.
and so then they would think about it, because usually boys, with the fighting, it would usually be the boys, and it would be, huh, I never thought about that, or I never knew that. And
Yeah.
so then we would have this conversation, during my portion of whatever it is, and we would talk about their choices and
Mm.
how they affected them. Now, I am going to, some of those that follow me, they pretend you didn't hear this. This is the first time you're hearing this. um, a few Sundays ago, it was one of those Sundays, marathon Sundays, and you don't get a chance to eat. And so I was starving. And the young man that was in the car with me, I was running around with the young people. And he said, "Would you like a bag of potato chips?" He said, "You're hungry." He said, "We're at the gas station. I can run in and get you a bag of potato chips." And I hadn't had a bag of potato chips in Lord knows when. And I told him, but I was hungry enough to say, "Yeah, give me a bag of potato chips." And so he said, "What kind?" And I was like, "Well, the ones that are onion and chive or something or other, that bag." And so he said, "Okay, this beautiful bright green bag that I thought was a weird color for food." And he got me that bag, and I opened that bag and I tore it up. Didn't read one ingredient, not one. Ate that bag, enjoyed it. Thought I threw the bag away. I thought I can even see myself throwing that bag away. Went to bed that night, woke up the next morning, and I could not remember the pin to a phone number that I had been calling every morning for 20 years.
Mm.
I could not
I get your
remember.
memory.
Yeah, I couldn't remember that pin. And so I had to call Pastor Cece and say, "Send me the pen." She sent me the pen. And so then, the day went on, a couple of things happened. And then I did my Facebook Live, and I struggled, really struggled on that live with stuff that I knew, should have known in my sleep.
Mm.
So I began to question the Lord and said, "Okay, what is this?" I said, this is something, I know it's something that I did, but I don't know what it is that I did. And so I heard, "Go read the ingredients on that bag." I said, "Well, I threw that bag away. I don't know what it is because I threw the bag away." And so I went and looked down in my purse, and it was folded up real nice and neatly in the bottom of my purse. I pulled this bag out, and the first 5 ingredients were genetically modified oils that most certainly do affect the neurons, the
Wow.
cells of the brain. And then the next few ingredients were sugar. It was sugar. Now they're finding out that sugar erases the memory of the memory cells.
Ooh. Okay, let me pause you right here.
Uh-huh.
Those of you that are just joining us, I need you to look at the screen. We are in our first health and wellness segment of 2026 with Dr. Shirley Hill. She comes on monthly with us of MoPheth Nutritional Services. Now, you will be able to visit her website either during or after this segment to connect with her further. Our discussion today, if you look, is the untold secret behind mental health. And I am appreciating all of you that are coming in. I see you coming in on Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube. And I do want to recognize some of you. Neil, thanks for coming in. I just see that first initial there. I think I saw Dr. Shana. You know, I always mispronounce your name, so I'm just going to say Dr. Gordine. Thanks for coming in. I appreciate you. And Gregory King has joined us, and he made a comment when you were talking about the children or the young and mental health. He says he worked in the children's psychiatric hospital in New York. So he has that understanding of that. I would love to kind of maybe talk with you further, or maybe give some more comments or input on today's topic.
If I may interject something right here, I'd like to talk with him further also.
Okay. All right.
Mm-hmm.
And then I think I see Emma on YouTube. Thanks for coming in, speaking and saying hello. Apostle Hunt, my friend, thank you. He says greetings. Oh yeah, this is, you know, it's crazy, and I'm grateful for you taking us through that little journey that you went through to kind of see that correlation there.
Yes,
people, you know, will snack on something in a minute, you know, and just think, oh, you know, this is fine or whatever. But I'm glad you're breaking it down and how it can affect our mind, our mental state. So you couldn't remember something that you have been doing for over 20 years the next day after
every morning. I could not remember a pen. What is the pen? 6 numbers, 5 or 6 numbers. I could not. And I did it over and over and over again. It never came to my mind.
Yeah.
That morning. And so, like I said, I struggled remembering things that I knew. The next slide that I had, I was all over the place. You know, I was sometimes, you know, that's, you know me, sometimes I'm all over the place anyway, but this particular morning, I was all over the place because I had eaten this bag of potato chips that had all of these ingredients in them that targeted the brain.
Wow.
And so I want to say go to your refrigerator, but I'm going to say this. As soon as this is over, go to your refrigerator, open your refrigerator, and look at everything that is in your refrigerator. And when we finish talking here, you'll know why I'm telling you to go to your refrigerator. There is something in that refrigerator that we all have. Even I get real not concerned because it has become the norm. But when we're talking about healthy things, and you know how you see commercials on the refrigerator, on your YouTube and on all of those things, and or they're at the store and they're talking about the healthy things that you get. There is one thing that all of that healthy food is wrapped in. You open your refrigerator, and from top to bottom, you see this particular item on everything. And we drink out of it every day. And so that's that bottle of water that's in that plastic bottle. Open our refrigerator, everything in the refrigerator is wrapped in plastic. And you know, it is just, there are so many things that are everyday items and everyday things that have become a part of our lifestyle that is really affecting our mental health.
Wow.
And we don't even understand. It's hidden. It's hidden. So then we talked that water that's in that bottle. I would like to see who all in the audience you drink water out of a plastic bottle. You can just say me, I, yes, however you want to respond to that. But I'd like to see if it's, you know, how many
Mm-hmm.
Really drink that plastic. The chemical that is in that plastic is cadmium chloride. And
Mm-hmm.
that cadmium chloride, it is, uh, let me see, what it's causing, it's a nanoplastic, and it is a microplastic. And that is now what research is showing. It causes Alzheimer's.
Oh,
Yeah. Now
okay.
they had been saying that it was the plaque. They had been saying that it was the plaque that caused Alzheimer's. That, but they found that this is so bad. They found that the study that showed that it was the plaque that caused the Alzheimer's, that it was falsified.
Oh, really?
Yeah, my response exactly. My response exactly. And it's been years that they have been saying that it is plaque that causes Alzheimer's. And then they found that the research was falsified, and they knew that they had to start all over again, which was a good thing,
Mm-hmm.
because in starting all over again, someone that was not in the field of food and that type of thing, so they weren't so concerned about the money, so they could say that it's the cadmium in the plastic, or it is the cadmium in the food that you're eating that is causing this. They left America to do their research, and they found a little country that had that almost every generation had they progressed to Alzheimer's.
Wow.
And yeah, and so they began to look for a cause, not just to treat the symptoms. And that's what we do in America.
Yep.
In America, what we do is we treat the symptoms. And that's why these therapists and whatever, that's why they couldn't give me an answer, because they only deal with the symptoms and not the cause. And
Mm.
so, but this, I can't think of what this, I should have written it down. I had never heard of this kind of researcher that he said he was. And he began, I think he had a relative that had Alzheimer's, mother, father, someone, which made him dig deeper and further. And when he found this little country that almost all of their people progressed to Alzheimer's, he began to dig and see what was the common denominator between all of their people.
Mm-hmm.
And they found out that it was that they had very high rates is not the word that I'm looking for, but they had a lot of cadmium chloride. Cadmium chloride was everywhere. It was in their water. It was in their food. It was in the air that they breathed. And so that's where they began to begin their research and their study. And they found out they separated three groups: one that did not have the cadmium chloride, one that did have the cadmium chloride, and one they had tweaked their diet and what they were putting in their bodies.
Okay.
And so the ones that had, and by the way, the cadmium chloride, they just did what the people normally did.
Mm.
And so that showed them that was a causation. This is something that they did on a normal basis, and they found out that that they had high levels of the cadmium chloride.
Wow.
Yeah. Now, the chemical that is in this plastic, in these bottles that we drink this water out of, is cadmium chloride.
Ooh, ooh. Now you asked the question.
Yeah.
Only one person was honest.
Oh.
Apostle Dion, he said, I do, unfortunately. So let me ask you, because I'm sure there are many more of us who, uh-oh. I'm sorry, Dr. Hill. She's just having so many issues with her device on today. So hopefully she'll be able to come back in. I can't ask her the question now. But Gregory King, I see your comment that you drink water out of glass bottles. That was actually, I was going to ask Dr. Hill what her suggestion would be for us that drink out of the plastic bottles, because just, you know, purchasing, because of course that's what they sell. I don't drink tap water, so we go and get the bottled water, but it's still in plastic. Now I can take it and pour it into a cup or a glass and drink from that, but it's already been in the plastic. So I don't think that that is something that is going to be beneficial to me, right? So Gregory King, I said all that to say, you mentioned about drinking out of glass bottles. So is that how you purchase your water? Do you purchase them in the glass bottles? Because that may be a good a good thing for all of us to do. So I don't know if you can answer that question or not, Mr. King. So that would be something to kind of look at. I think I have Dr. Hill back. Can you hear me? Okay, okay, I can bring her on. Dr. Hill, before you went out, we were asking, well, I was asking the question, since Apostle kind of, was the sacrificial lamb, and mentioning that he does drink out of the plastic bottles. So my question simply was, okay, so what should we do? Because it's not enough, and I'm quite sure you'll probably say it's not enough to go in, and I just have, this was from my book signing. I didn't drink out of this, but we can have our bottled water, right?
Yes.
And because that's what they sell, and many of us don't drink tap, because I don't drink tap.
I don't.
And so we purchased it, and then okay, but we could go and pour it in here, but that makes no sense because it's already been in the water, right?
And we don't know how long it's set in the store in that plastic bottle.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So then Mr. King, while you were gone, he mentioned that they drink out of glass bottles.
And that's what I drink out of.
Okay. And so then I asked him, how did he do it? Because I'm like, okay, you could go and get the water and pour it in a cup or whatever. But he says he has a special home watering system that they use. Man, Mr. King, look at you. Now we have to try and go and figure out this thing out on our own.
Well, if you don't have a special watering system for your, for your bathing, for your drinking, for your cooking, go to Walmart. Go to Walmart. They have these, and I can't think of the name of them. I've only seen it once. I've only bought it once. I purchased it once, but it is the best tasting water I have ever had. It's in a blue bottle. The bottle almost looks like a wine bottle.
Is that what's the name of that? Somebody, you guys know what that is.
Does it start with an
Voss?
S?
No. Is it Voss?
No, it is not Voss, but Voss is another bottled water and glass bottle. But you have to be careful with Voss because you don't want to get the see, I never do it, and that's the bubbles. What's that with the bubbles?
Oh, the
See, I'm glad I'm not the only one doing
that. What's in pop? Come on, guys, help us out. Yeah, I know what you're saying.
It makes it effervescent.
Mm-hmm.
So if I keep thinking about words that mean the same, maybe we'll get to the word.
Lord help us with that. We talk about mental health and memory and stuff like that. Help us, Jesus.
But that makes
Saratoga.
It is. It is Saratoga. It's in the
Okay.
blue bottle, right? That really
Yes.
pretty blue bottle. And
Hmm.
so that is some of the best water I have ever tasted. Now you
Okay.
got to be careful because they do have it in a plastic bottle.
Okay. So
And
make
so
sure
you
you
have
get
to
it in
make
the
the
glass.
glass. And it's the same thing for the Voss. Voss is very good water, but you have to make sure that it is not that makes the stuff bubbly.
Carbonated.
There it is. Thank you. Thank you. It is not. It is so. And thinking of chemicals, um, sometimes if we just use our common sense,
Hmm.
carbon is what we breathe out as a waste matter. That is the waste that we breathe out when we our lungs, so that we breathe in oxygen, but we breathe out carbon dioxide. Carbon monoxide. No, carbon dioxide. Monoxide is the car, right?
Right. Right.
So we breathe out the carbon dioxide. It is a waste. It's what the body is getting rid of. But we're drinking, if we drink the carbonated beverage, pop, water, so forth and so on, then we are putting the waste back in the lungs and in the body. And I remember, um, oh, if you knew I couldn't think of his name. This is bad talking about mental health.
Hopefully
uh,
it'll come to
Evander
you.
Holyfield. I haven't said his name in years.
Okay.
Evander Holyfield. I got a call about 1 o'clock in the morning, and it was one of our prophets, and he called me. I need you to talk to somebody. I need you to talk to somebody, and so I said, it's 1 o'clock in the morning. Who is? Next thing I heard was click, and he said, this is Evander Holyfield. I need you to talk to him. So I was like,
Wow.
oh God. And so he introduced us, and Evander said, well, I have a nutritionist. I have a nutritionist. And I said, okay. I said, that's good. I said, but what's the problem you're having? And he was saying, this is when they took his title. Remember, they took his title, they took all of
Hmm.
it. And so he said, well, he said, I can't get around in the ring. He said, my abdomen, my lower abdomen, my legs. He said, when I try to move to get around in the ring to get away from the other boxer, he said, I have all of this pain. He said, and I can't move fast enough to get away from the other boxer. And so I just asked him a couple of things. I said, you drink water? He said, the only time I drink water is when I am in what are they doing when they're practicing before a fight. He said that's when I drink water. He said other than that I drink pop, a carbonated beverage. And so and then I asked him about his diet, so he could tweak that and some other things. But it was the carbonated beverage that was causing him the problem, because that carbon gets in how your bones have those little spaces in them, and the carbon gets in those spaces, and
Mm.
that carbon causes the difficulty that he was having. It was from the carbon that got in those spaces and prevented the oxygen, so it replaced the oxygen. And here he was trying to box, and he was oxygen deprived, and the oxygen in his bone marrow had been
Mm.
replaced by the uh carbon dioxide had been replaced by the carbon dioxide. And so it was causing and creating the problem. And then of course some things with the candy, junk, all of that kind of stuff that needed to be tweaked too. But the real problem was that um, carbon. We just
Okay.
gonna leave it at
Carbon.
carbon, so I
Mhm.
won't call them get
Right.
people confused. And so when he tweaked that, when he changed that, next thing I knew, he was on Dancing with the Stars with his two left feet.
Right.
Yeah, and so that sometimes we have problems. Now that same carbon, it gets in the brain.
Mm.
It gets in the brain, and sometimes we're having difficulties. We're ending up with surgeries. We're ending up with surgeries because one of the reasons is because we treat symptoms and we don't treat the cause.
Yeah.
And so these are the hidden
All right, guys. Unfortunately, we have run into a few issues on Dr. Hill's end with her device. And so hopefully there was something that she shared with us on today that will help each of you. We talked about, I'll flash on the screen again, the topic title for today, the untold secret behind mental health. And so she has been engaging us and, telling us some things to make us think, about our mental health and the things that are not told. Okay. Untold secrets. So if you need to contact Dr. Hill regarding anything health and wellness related, or if there were some questions that you may wanted to have asked her on today, then you can reach out to her directly. And I will make sure that her website is in the comment section so that you can reach out to her. And it's very simple. It's the name of her business, MoPheth Nutritional Services. And I am placing the website in the comment section now, so that you can reach out directly to her. If you look, it is, I believe I did that right, MoPhethNS.com. And that's her website. You can reach out to her directly. You can, for consultations, for her resale products. And she's other great videos on there that can really help you. I think she's back, and we're going to end it with this. Dr. Hill?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Can you give us a wrap up on today?
I can.
Okay.
Don't put anything in your mouth unless you read the ingredients. If it comes out of a box, bottle, or can, it's going to have some toxic chemicals in there. And if it has toxic chemicals in it, it is going to affect your physical body, whatever receptors, whatever organ that chemical fits the receptors, it is going to affect the functionality of that organ. And because that is not something that we look for, you may find yourself in a situation where you're in surgery or where you're taking medications that don't work. And so now you're in a loop where you're switching from one medication to another medication to another medication. Begin to become aware, very aware of what you are eating in these days, because they will affect. And the brain has become a target.
Mm,
Has become a target with a lot of these chemicals that we are putting in the body. Even the pesticides that they're spraying on the foods
yeah.
are, yeah. And so we need to uh, become aware if we want to save our mental health. If we want to save even in our children's mental health, because they are saying that we have an epidemic of mental health problems among our young people. And
Yeah.
so we have to become aware, and then stop using some of these, turn off this YouTube with all of these recipes on it and all of it.
Right. That's so true, Dr. Hill. I know you mentioned that a couple of times, like, because you can go down a little rabbit trail,
Oh yeah,
when you're on there. Because sometimes I'm not gonna tell no story. That food look good sometimes.
it
Uh,
does.
but it's not always healthy for you. And so you have to make sure, like she said, make sure you are watching what you are consuming.
Yes.
Because again, the topic title, The Untold Secret of Mental Health. And you don't want what you're consuming to affect you mentally.
Yes.
So that is, pretty much what we've been talking about on today.
May
Uh,
I add just one more thing? I'm sorry for interrupting you, but it is so vital and important. When our seniors get older, they begin to eat out of cans and out of the microwave. That
mm,
is why a lot of them slip into Alzheimer's, because the brain uses the most energy of any of the other organs of the body. And there is no energy, and there are no nutrients, and there are toxins and poisons in these cans. And the microwave is deadly, but we can talk about that at another time.
oh, yeah, I like that. Thanks for saying that and sharing that with us. Listen, I wanted to real quick, while you're still on here, I need you guys to make sure that you go to her website. And I wanted to, can you guys see it on the screen? Let me know if you can.
Yes.
This is her website, MoPhethNS.com. MoPhethNS.com. Please, for your health, visit her website. Check out Dr. Hill. She's not a nutritionist, she's a natural food hygienist. And there is a huge difference. Unfortunately, some have found themselves in situations where they've received diagnosis and bad prognosis, on their health, and they've gone through different things. But I'm a Dr. Hill advocate. I will refer you to Dr. Hill in a minute. Folks probably get tired of me, but I don't care because I'm concerned about your health. And I know that God has anointed this woman of God to be able to help us. She has a PhD in food chemistry. She, and her advice and her information to you is not cookie cutter, if I can say it like that. She will go to God on your behalf in prayer, specifically to figure out what to do, whatever it is you're going through. And so I just wanted to encourage you to make sure you go to her website. And I see, oh, Brandy, haven't seen you in a minute. Thank you. I know you're a busy woman. Thanks for coming in. She did make sure that she lists the website so that you guys can connect with Dr. Hill. And I appreciate that. So make sure you do that. We don't have any excuse. Um, and God's gonna get us for it. Okay. Is that my district missionary? She says, great show, really helpful. I appreciate you for joining and watching us on today. And she said it was very helpful. So hopefully it's something you can take in and maybe share with someone else as well. Listen, guys, again, if individuals were not able to watch this live, they can always go back and watch the recorded segment. Okay, so go ahead and feel free to tag them directly into this. Share it, please share, and share alike. I would appreciate it. They will appreciate it because they probably need some assistance health wise and their mental health as well. All right, Dr. Hill, thank you again. I know we had a little challenge on today with your electronics, your device, but I believe the essence was received of the message that God has given you to give to us on today about the untold secret of mental health. Or probably should put an S on secrets of mental health. Well, Dr. Hill, we will see you next month. Thank you for coming out and virtually and talking to us on this first health and wellness segment of 2026. So we appreciate you.
Thank you. I appreciate your having me.
All right. And guys, make sure, follow her on the social media outlets that she's on, because she has some great things that she's working on and things that are coming up. So make sure you follow Dr. Hill. All right. All right, guys, we're going to get out of here. Next week, I will have 2 shows. I think it's Monday and Wednesday. We had a show last evening with Nicole Reed, and she's doing a 31-day wisdom challenge. And she's at day 28 now. So we had her on last evening, and it was a great segment because we need some wisdom. We're facing some stuff,
It was a good segment. It was a good segment.
Thank you. I appreciate that. I think I saw you join in on Instagram last night. I think it was. Thank you. I appreciate that. So yeah, this is some good stuff, guys. Again, our health, physical and mental, is very, very important to take time out to make sure that we do something about it. And God has individuals in place, such as Dr. Shirley Hill, that will help us. All right. I will see you guys next week. Let me get over here to my outro and, stick with us. Okay. There's some great things coming up and I'm so excited about what God is doing. So I will say it's time.
It's time.
Do you have time?
Do you know what time it is?
The time is
The
now.
time is now.
The time is
Do
now.
you know what time it is? The time is now.
The time
Do you
is
know
now.
what time it is? The time is now. Do you know what time it is? The time is right now.
Do you have time?
Get caught in a net with